Hi guys. This is super weird for me to do because I've never done it before. But I'm Teresa from Eat, Drink, and Be Skinny and Teresa Wellness. And this is my first sort of stab at a video blog. So I've got a little story for you today. So 3 years ago, I started this blog. I had a corporate job. I worked in weight loss. And I was traveling a lot, and I was like, oh, I'll start this blog. Because I had written a book about cocktails, and I was like, oh, it's Eat, Drink, and Be Skinny, and I can talk about how, So I started it, and here's Samson. He really likes the camera, I think. And then 6 months after I started my blog, I actually left my company. And so 2.5 years, I have been sitting back here, full-time by myself, creating recipes and writing programs and reviewing products and creating 30-day challenges, fitness challenges, with the effort to show people that just one small thing can make all the difference in the world. And it's interesting to me because 2.5 years later, I don't know why I thought it was going to be easy, and I don't know why I thought I was going to know what I was doing. But 2.5 years later, I find myself frustrated and confused because I can't believe that I still struggle with exactly what I'm trying to do, who exactly it is that I'm trying to serve, and really what I'm trying to change and how I'm trying to help the world. So I struggle with it, and so I thought it would be a good time then. So I go back and I just took this little marketing class this week, and it was interesting. It was actually, like, out of all the times I've taken these ones, this one, she asked 4 questions that I thought were really, they got me to look at things, I think, a little bit differently than I had thought. And I'm trying to organize my thoughts a little bit more, because while my passion is crystal clear, anybody who knows me knows that what I'm here to do, and but I think my message gets lost, and I think it gets confused, and it's overlooked, I think, on the internet quite a bit, because I have, well, it's kind of confusing because I get I just think about stuff and I write about it, so I haven't been particularly clear with what I'm trying to do. And because my message in general is pretty mild, I'm diet agnostic. I don't stand very strongly for any one type of diet. I believe strongly in the passion that there is one right diet for every single different person. So I believe in a lot of different approaches, and that's a hard message to communicate because it's not very clear, because it's different for every single person. So I end up sort of confused and I think my message then becomes confusing. So I'm trying to make sense of all of that right now, and I'm trying to be very clear with what I'm actually really trying to do. And that's sort of the purpose of this video, because I think at the end of the day, when on the road to wellness, you have to trust the people you're listening to, and if you don't know them, it's hard to trust them. So my friends trust me, so maybe if you get to know me, then it's easier, and you'll understand a little bit more about where my crazy stuff's coming from. So let me tell you what these 4 questions were that this gal asked, and then I will do my best. I have this big long letter that I was feeling very passionate about when I wrote it early in this week. So you can read the letter too. It's probably a lot quicker than me. But these 4 questions are: what really pisses you off, which is hysterical because I don't really like to focus on the negative. What do you stand for? So what are my values, my core values? And what do I think needs to change? And then what's one thing that I wish people would realize? So let me do my best to explain this. Let's start with what really pisses me off. So I do actually get mad. I actually get really frustrated because, especially on the internet, there is just a lot of crap. There are a lot of people selling a lot of stuff that promises things that are not even really possible. I can't believe that there are still people selling, you don't need to I lost 50 pounds in 30 days and I didn't even change my diet or exercise. Like, it really, like, is that happening still? And it is. It's like ridiculous, but it's still totally happening. And the reason why it's happening is because people are still, I think, in the back of their minds hoping that that's possible, and they're still looking for that. And then because someone's saying they did it, they buy that, and then they go and they do it and it doesn't work and it's frustrating and it's a failure. And so they go, well, there's something wrong with me, and then it completely stifles positive action. And some clever marketer made a bunch of money, and one healthy hopeful is less healthy and less hopeful. So that's the exact opposite of what they were looking for. And that really pisses me off. And it's something I will never do. Anything I say is from my heart and from my brain and from my research and from my experience, whether it be personal or professional. Like, it is true and it's realistic, and there will always be some form of science or there's truth to what I'm talking about, and it's solid and it's real. So you can count on that, and it just pisses me off. And then let's move on to the next one. So it's kind of what I stand for, and this is what is like, this is really interesting. What I stand for. It's I just tried to boil it down to 3 things because it's so broad, right? Like health and happiness. Like, what the hell is that? That's a lot, and it's something different to every single person. And if my goal here is to help you find better health and more happiness, then it's just so vague. So I put it down to, I picked 3 things. And then I like to say that with, every story, every page has 2 sides to the story. And you have to read both sides of the page to get the full story. So the first thing, I think, if you have ever followed or read anything of mine, that I believe very, very strongly in the power of food. And I think that it has the ability to fuel you, to make you stronger, to make you feel amazing, and to power you through a beautiful, satisfying life. And on the flip side of that, I think food can be the exact opposite. It can leave you wallowing in guilt and shame. It can lead to chronic disease, and ultimately a lot of people are dying based on the poor food choices that they're making. And that's why I do what I do, because I think we can fix that. And then that leads me to my second one, and that's responsibility. So, and that's on me. Like, I am responsible as a health coach and a nutritionist and a personal trainer and an online influencer, and as a marketer. At the end of the day, it's my responsibility, and everybody in my field, we have a responsibility to make claims and provide solutions that are in your best interest, not our profits. Like, that's just, it's just got to be about you, and it has to be. And then everything else should then fall in line. And then on the flip side of that page is your responsibility. Your individual responsibility as the person who runs your life. Like, you are in control of nothing in this world. Like, you don't get to pick anything, really. Like, stuff's just gonna happen. But what you do get to control are your actions, your decisions, your habits, the things that you do every day, and whether they make you healthier and happier or the opposite. So that's your responsibility to make the right choices. Now, I get that the world's really confusing. I just complained about that, right? About how it's confusing. And so, but if we both work responsibly, so if influencers would be responsible with their actions and consumers would be responsible with their actions, we could really be healthier and happier. Like, we really could. And then my third one then is commitment, because motivation comes and goes, and they say commitment and discipline is like having the ability and the power to choose what you want most over what you want now. And I think that falls into commitment. And so that's my commitment, because trust me, I know this sounds like I'm complaining, but like, this is like, it's hard to do what I do independently and by myself, and sort of following my guiding light of providing information that I hope is making a difference. And when I get your letters and I get your emails and I see your pictures, and that the stuff I'm creating is working, makes it all worth it. But every day is kind of a grind. And have to stay committed to it, that this is my passion, this is my calling, this is my life, like this is what I do. And it's my commitment to you to stay here, to continue researching, to continue writing, to continue creating, and to continue to deliver information that can make your life better. And then you have a commitment too, to yourself, and to deciding and to realizing that you ultimately have the power to change your life and to make it better by change. And I can say by simply changing your decisions. And I know that it's not that simple. But the sheer fact that you have that power is true. That is true. And that is a simple fact. That is true. And that's the one thing that I wish people would realize. Like, I wish people would realize that they have that power. And then that leads me into what I think needs to change. And I think there's things that need to change, like that, so that you have to have this gadget to do fitness, or that you have to spend a ton of money to get this secret recipe of what's going to change your life, or that you somehow have to, like, that you can't get there. Like, you can't do it by yourself, because ultimately you have to, like, it's you. It's just who you choose to help you get there. I think things that need to change are like the all or nothing, the quick fixes, there's a lot of programs out there that are quite frankly not realistic and not sustainable, and then that leaves you feeling like, why bother? It was too hard, and I'm less likely to do that. Like, I just feel like we're still doing it. Like, we're still selling cabbage soup diets. They're just repackaged in things that look healthier, but they're not. That's got to stop. And I think other thing, like headlines, like, I know that it's hard to get your stuff read. Trust me, I know it, because I've been doing it for 2.5 years. And so people get really clever with what they're writing and what they're sharing, simply because they want to increase page views and they want to drive traffic, and it's all driving revenue. So you'll have a headline that comes out that says something like, fiber doesn't decrease your risk of cancer because a study showed that. Like, what? Like, that's not helping. That's not helping the world. That's not making us better. And you can dig into, and if you have the time, you can read the study and you can figure out whatever. Like, that's fine. But that's not helping. And that's happening today. And that needs to change. Like, that needs to change. So I'm kind of getting on a rant here, which I apologize for. And I am talking for way too long. I really wanted this to be much shorter. But let me just leave it with this. Like, that's sort of my shtick. That's kind of why I wanted to film this video. Is I wanted to introduce myself. I wanted to tell you what I stand for and what I'm here for. I'm never gonna beg you to work out. I'm not gonna boss you into working out. I'm not gonna scare you into anything. I'm gonna trick you into anything. But I want to be here for you to provide a clear path, solid information, quality information, well-researched, well-thought-out, well-founded information, so that you can take your power of choice and make smarter decisions that make your life healthier and happier. Like, that's what I want to do. And that's what I have been doing, and that's what I hope to continue doing. And I hope that you'll come with me on this journey, and that you download my 10-point guide to better health and more happiness, or that you take the 7-day reset challenge, and that you start to see how this approach to wellness, to wholeness, to health, to happiness is not as scary as it might seem. And it's not a hopeless battle of pain and dissatisfaction, that it's just making more decisions that are better for you than bad for you. It's like that easy. So this is so long. I can't even believe I did this. It's 14 minutes, and I apologize. But if you're still here, thank you. Bless you. I don't know how time goes by so fast. It's crazy. But now I want to hear from you, because at the end of the day, I am the person who has committed my life to this. And it takes time, because you have to comb through a lot of stuff. When I make a recipe, I mean, it takes like 3 hours to like figure out like what it's gonna taste right and how to do it, so that when you make it, you can make it in 20 minutes. Like, this is what I do. So I want to hear from you how I can make your life easier. What can I research? What can I clarify? What can I create? What system can I deliver? What insight can I provide? What clarity can I bring you to help you be better at your life and ultimately healthier and happier. That's what I'm here to do. So thank you for being here, and thank you for listening, and thank you for tolerating my bedhead and my ridiculous cat who just decided to leave. And I don't even know if anyone's going to watch this, but if you did, thank you. Please leave a comment or shoot me an email and let me know how I can commit my time to helping you be better. Okay? Thank you. And until next time.